Greta Thunberg, or as we know her, Greta Thunberg, is a Swedish environmental activist who has gained international recognition for promoting the view that humanity is facing an existential crisis arising from climate change. Like most actors on the world stage, Greta is a paid hypocrite who reads from a script. When you take away the script, however, it's amazing how the knowledge and activism seem to just disappear.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
My name is Thomas from Sweden's Express, and this is a question for Greta. Could you please tell us what kind of message, what you are doing here today, what kind of message would you send by doing this to world leaders? And also can I ask you, do you think it's about time that President Trump would respond to what you have said today?
I think... I'm sorry, what was the first question?
What's the message you would like to send to our leaders by doing what you are doing?
I think what we want to send is... The message we want to send is to say that we have had enough. And anyone else wants to answer that question? I can't speak on behalf of everyone.
Anyone wants to answer about the message to world leaders? Mm-hmm. Okay.
What about President Trump? He's here today. Do you think he should respond in any way?
I think maybe you should give some questions to the others as well.
Yeah. Let's move to the questions to the...
Suggest to the young people that they should study the climate. And I would like to have a little talk with you about that, the climate. If you're good. And did you study yourself? I suppose.
Hello, we have a thing to do now. Sorry, so I need to borrow a question. Thank you.
Here's Greta proclaiming that she is not making any prepared remarks while reading from a prepared script.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I have not come to offer any prepared remarks at this hearing. I'm instead attaching my testimony. It is the IPCC Special Report on Global Warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius, the SR 1.5, which was released on October 8th, 2018. I am submitting this report as my testimony because I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to the scientists. And I want you to unite behind the science. And then I want you to take real action. Thank you.
Well, today we are here at the COP25 summit, as they call it, and we're going to be asking the folks here what they think about St. Greta's sin. You might notice in this footage is climate contraband. There is plastic water bottles, there's plastic grocery bags, there's plastic utensils in her containers of beans that she's littered around the back of her dumpster, in the back of her Tesla. There's everything This is a car full of climate contraband, and we're going to ask these folks here at the COP25 summit what they think about it before they know that it's Greta's car, of course. We'll tell them that after the fact. Let's go see what they have to say. Do you think that the people that refuse to avoid using plastic, are they responsible?
Yeah. Just think of the whales and all that, all those closely endangered species as your children, and how you would feel if you were killing your own children.
Yes, I was going to say, it's like a selfish inconvenience thing.
What do you think Greta Thunberg would say to people who continue to use plastic even though they know how damaging it is to the environment?
I think she would be very angry at them.
Stop using plastic because it'll help a great deal.
Do you think maybe these people are just uneducated? They don't know what's going on?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's just a matter of them learning.
Shame. How dare you? I was going to say it.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Do you think Greta Thunberg uses plastic water bottles?
I hope not. I don't know.
So we see lots of people driving Teslas, you know, and they're like, oh, we're saving the environment. But in the Teslas, in the cup holder is a plastic water bottle. Do you think some of these people are just hypocrites?
Honestly, yeah, I think so. And I think it's easy to jump and to be part of the trend of going green, going healthy. So I think that a lot of it is this new kind of trend or fad that's going on of trying to save the environment. But I think at the end of the day, people don't really care and they just want to have the image.
What do you think about that?
I don't know what is the source of the photos. I'm afraid I cannot say anything.
If they were true, if they're real, and I can promise you they are, what do you think about them?
Well, nobody should use plastics in the first place, but I don't know what is the source, so I'm afraid I cannot really say.
I took it myself. Why are you surprised that Greta Thunberg, someone who...
Surprised that you're using plastic.
This is reusable.
Oh. Have you used single-use plastics?
We're not the climate messiah. It was St. Greta's Popemobile, really, full to the brim, chock full of climate contraband. It breaks my heart. We spoke to so many people today who just couldn't believe it. We watched them cycle through the stages of grief, not believing that St. Greta was a sinner, just like everybody else. For Rebel News in Madrid, I'm Kian Bexty. Greta Thunberg is incorporating. She's created a Clinton Foundation-like nonprofit, and she hasn't told us about it until now, and it's not clear why she's finally come out with this little factoid. She buried it in a huge information dump where she claims that people are using her name and her face to sell products, to market, and to, well, you guessed it, collect money. And she doesn't want to miss out on that. No, Greta Thunberg has been using this foundation to collect money, even though she said she would never do anything of the sort. And just now we're finding out about it. Now, Greta Thunberg started this information dump by saying that she is trademarking her name. She's trademarking School Strike for Climate, and she's striking Fridays for Future. Now, keep in mind, she's certainly in this for the climate. She's not in this for the money at all. You got to believe her. She's been so trustworthy in the past. Now, she says that she has absolutely no interest, and the other school strikers have absolutely no interest in trademarks. This is just something that has to be done. You understand, don't you? If Greta Thunberg doesn't have a Clinton Foundation all to herself, she just can't keep doing what she's doing. Now, I was a little bit confused by this post because it reminded me of a previous post of hers on Facebook. Greta Thunberg said that people love to spread rumors about her, but she's not a part of any organization at all. And it's going to remain that way. She says, of course, it will stay this way. Well, Greta, you lied, didn't you? I wonder if this foundation was set up when you posted this, and now you're just trying to get out ahead of the gate on this one. She says that she's not met one single climate activist who's fighting for the climate for money. Oh, but you are, Greta, aren't you? You just admitted it. You said this in part 3 of your information dump, saying that it's just something that's needed for handling money, book royalties, donations, prize money, etc. You wouldn't understand. It's for taxes, actually. We have to pay those before we can give our money to a third party. Now, lots of people were assuming already that Greta Thunberg had big money behind her, big green money from the likes of Ingmar Renshag. He's the individual who found Greta Thunberg in the first few minutes of her very first school strike. Oh, and he just happened to be a financial investment specialist and public relations guru. Don't mind that, though. This was all a coincidence. Now, Greta says in her Facebook post that she's not received any money or any promise of future payments in any form at all. And she says that she travels with permission from her school and that her parents pay for her tickets and her accommodations. Now, that information would be supported by my own interview with Greta Thunberg's father in Edmonton. Listen to this.
So will you be disclosing your finances? Will you be telling us who is paying for your trip, your Tesla, and bringing you to our country in the middle of an election?
Thank you very much.
You're paying for everything. You paid for the Tesla?
No one's paying for it. What? Tesla for free.
Borrow the Tesla for free from New York.
Yeah, from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Now, ignore the bit about the Tesla donated by the super rich Arnold Schwarzenegger. Greta's father says that he's paying for everything. Now, we don't know if we can trust that because we can't trust anything coming out of Greta's family's mouths. Is Greta's father paying for that with money coming into the foundation that we've only been told about now? Now, Greta says in the same Facebook post that there's nobody behind her except for herself and that her parents were as far from climate activists as possible before she made them aware of the situation. Now, this is interesting because this was posted before we found out that everything on Greta Thunberg's official Facebook page was actually posted from Greta Thunberg's father's personal Facebook account. You didn't think we'd find that one out, did you, Greta? You go on to say that you sound and write like an adult, and that to that you can only say, don't you think that a 16-year-old can speak for herself? Well, not really, Greta. We've seen you without a script. Now look, we know that Greta is a liar. This Facebook post and Instagram post confirm it. How long has Greta been accepting financial contributions without disclosing it? Greta has said repeatedly that her parents pay for everything and she doesn't take any money whatsoever. But it's all a lie. Greta Thunberg now has a Clinton Foundation-style organization behind her, and we don't know who is paying her. We don't know what third parties she's going to give this money to. She says that this foundation's aim is going to be to promote ecological, climatic, and social sustainability. Oh, and it's going to promote mental health as well. We know how much Greta likes to promote mental health after all. Now, I don't like being lied to, but I certainly don't like being lied to by the eco-elites of the world, people who may be profiting off of the work that they're doing to mislead the world and mislead the youth of the world into thinking that they're going to die in 8 years.